Matapos nang kumalat sa ilang social media platform ang balita patungkol sa umano'y relasyon ni VP Sara Duterte at Senator Bato de la Rosa, tila winakasan na nga ngayong araw ni VP Sara ang isyu at inamin na nito sa madla ang katotohanan. Ayon nga umano sa alkalde, malapit na magkaibigan lang daw sila ni Bato at wala umanong espesyal na namamagitan sa kanila. Samantala, narito naman ang video na magpapatunay na hanggang ngayon ay pinapaikot pa rin ng mga Duterte at ng ilang senador ang publiko.
Yes, you have 10 minutes, Congressman Raul Manuel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Magandang gabi po sa lahat. Since meron din po tayong isa pang kamag-anak ng naging biktima din po ng Bloody Sunday Massacre, I will direct first my series of questions sa kanya. Mr. Chair, we have here si Ms. Lizelle Asuncion. Magandang gabi po.
Yes po, magandang gabi po sa lahat. Ako po si Lizelle Asuncion, ang ulilang asawa ni Manuel Asuncion at 50 taong gulang.
Mr. Chair, kayo po ang muli po asawa ni Emmanuel o ni Manny Asuncion?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, saan po kayo nakatira?
Sa Rosario, Cavite po, Mr. Chair.
Tama po ba na nangyari po ang pagpatay kay Manny Asuncion noong March 7, 2021?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Kayo po, Ma'am Lizelle, nasaan po kayo noong araw na iyon?
Mr. Chair, nasa Workers Assistance Center po kami or WAC Satellite Office po na matatagpuan po sa Block 2, Lot 5, Lawrenceville Subdivision sa Dasmariñas, Cavite po.
Bakit po kayo nasa lugar na iyon po ba ay bahay po ninyo? Doon po talaga kayo nakatira?
Hindi po, Mr. Chair.
So bakit po nandoon po kayo sa Workers Assistance Center?
Doon po kami tumutuloy noon dahil nag-aayos po kami ng relief operations dahil panahon po yun ng pandemya. At naghahanda rin po kami noon para sa papalapit na International Working Women's Day sa March 8 po.
Tama po ba na yung nangyari ay ito po March 7, madaling araw? Tama po ba?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, maaari po bang ilahad mula po sa perspective ni Ma'am Lizelle, ano po ang nangyari noong madaling araw ng March 7, 2021?
Yes po, Mr. Chair. Nakaupo po kami noon sa gilid ng higaan na yung foam. Nakalatag po siya sa sahig. Niyakap ako para protektahan ako at saka po pumasok ang mga kapulisan. Sumisigaw po sila na dapa-dapa. Nakita ko po na nakaupo, naka-uniforme po sila at may mga baril po sila. Naka-camouflage po. At may mga patches ng PNP Rizal at PNP Laguna po yung kanilang mga dami. Sila po ay naka-ski mask po. Pero saan po nilang binuksan yung gate at pinto ng office namin. Pagkatapos po, inadyakan po nila yung pintuan namin sa second floor.
Mr. Chair, bago po tayo magpatuloy, gusto ko pong makumpirma mula kay Ms. Lizelle. Nabanggit po ninyo na may nakita kayong patch ng PNP Rizal at PNP Laguna doon po sa suot ng mga pulis na lumusob sa Workers Assistance Center. Tama
Yes
po ba yun?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, sa pagkakaalala po ni Ma'am Lizelle, ilan po yung mga pumasok sa kwarto kung nasaan po kayo ni Manny Asuncion?
Mr. Chair, 6 po sila at marami pa pong iba sa pasilyo. Lahat po sila ay nakasuot ng ski mask o bonnet, kaya po matalang po yung kita.
Ibig sabihin po, Ma'am Lizelle, kung kakayanin po nating makapagpatuloy, nabanggit po ninyo merong 6 na pumasok. Ibig sabihin po, dahil may takip yung mga muka,
Yes po,
Wala
Mr.
po
Chair.
ni isa na nakita po ninyo yung mga mukha nila.
Wala po.
Pero sigurado po kayo doon sa nakita ninyong patch ng PNP sa kanilang mga suot.
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, liban sa nakita ninyo na merong patch ng PNP Rizal at PNP Laguna, meron pa po ba kayong ibang nakitang identifier o parang kakaiba sa kanilang mga suot?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Ano po iyon, Ma'am Lizelle? Halimbawa po sa kanila po bang, yung mga nameplate po ba nila? Kita po ba yung
Hindi
nameplate?
po, Mr. Chair, nakatakip po yung kanilang nameplate. May isa pong lalaki na galit po doon. Gusto na pong barilin si Manny.
So Mr. Chair, lahat po sila, yung mga nameplate po nila ay may takip po yun lahat.
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Ano po yung nakalagay na takip?
Wala po yung nakaano po dito, sa nameplate po nila.
Mr. Chair, pagkatapos kayong padapain, ano pa yung ginawa ng mga pulis na pumasok sa kwarto?
Habang po pinadadapa po kami, si Manny po ay nakita kong nakadapa po siya sa may hagdan, habang ako naman po ay kinaladkad ng 4 na pulis pababa sa kusina. Bago hinila pababa, nakita ko pong duguan na nakatutok ang baril sa likod niya. Habang kinakaladkad po ako at narinig ko po yung sigaw ni Manny. Mga tao din po kami.
Mr. Chair, sa usapin naman po ng search warrant, nagtanong din po ba kayo o si Manny Asuncion kung merong search warrant na dala o pinakita yung mga pulis?
Opo.
Tapos yun, meron po ba silang nilabas o pinakita ang search warrant?
Wala po, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, pagkatapos ng mga nangyari so far na pinadapa tapos kinaladkad din si Manny Asuncion, saan po kayo nun dinala ng pulis?
Inilabas po nila ako sa bahay. Nakarinig na po ako ng putok mula sa itaas kung saan naiwan po si Manny, Mr. Chair. Napapikit na lang po ako sa sarili ko at sinasabi ko pong pinatay na po nila ang aking asawa.
Paano po ninyo nasabi na nung narinig po ninyo yung mga putok ng baril ay yun po ninyo yun na yung signal na napatay na po si Manny Asuncion?
Yes po, Mr. Chair, kasi po nakita ko mismo na walang kalaban-laban si Manny sa mga pulis. Kasi po, mataba po siya at hindi na ganong kaliksi. Hindi niya kayang lumaban o tumakas po. Naka-restrain po talaga si Manny at marami yung mga pulis na nakatutok ang baril sa kanya.
Mr. Chair, tanong po natin kay Ms. Lizelle, nung panahon po ba na iyon, armado po ba si Manny Asuncion?
Hindi po, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, meron po bang pinagmamay-ari ang armas si Manny Asuncion?
Wala po, Mr. Chair.
Sa buong pagkakakilala po ninyo, ay meron po bang pagkakataon na nagmay-ari po ng baril o kahit anong armas si Manny Asuncion?
Wala po, Mr. Chair. Halos hindi na po kami makabili ng bigas o mga kailanganin po namin. Kaya po hindi po ganung tipong bibili si Manny na may-ari ng baril.
Mr. Chair, matanong na lang din po natin kay Ma'am Lizelle. Kayo po, Ma'am Lizelle, meron din po ba kayong pinagmamay-ari ang armas o baril?
Wala po, Mr. Chair.
Sa buong buhay po ninyo, may pagkakataon po ba na kayo din ay nagmay-ari ng armas?
Wala po. Hindi po, Mr. Chair.
Kailan na po yung parang, siguro kung may pagkakataon po na nakalapit po kayo sa kahit anong armas, may ganun po bang pagkakataon sa buhay ninyo?
Mr. Chair, sa totoo lang po, nung unang dinumog kami ng mga pulis, first time ko po makakita ng mga baril sa malapitan po.
Mr. Chair, kung babalik po doon sa naging insidente, may nakita po ba kayong kakaiba sa mga police na involved dun sa insidente?
Yes po, Mr. Chair, yun ko pong sinasabi nung una. May isang maliit na pulis, nagigil po na patayin si Manny. Sa kwarto pa lang po, halos kalapitin niya na yung gatilyo. Yung kamay, yung daliri na kasuot po sa trigin. Baril po. Pasensya na po, Mr. Chair. Hanggang ngayon, sobrang trauma po ako pag nakakita po ng pulis.
Sige, Mr. Chair, sa punto pong ito, naunawaan po natin ang nararamdaman po ni Ms. Lizelle Asuncion na hindi po natin ninanais na parang ma-relieve po sa kanya yung insidente. Kaya at this point, Mr. Chair, I would redirect my questions muna sa iba pa nating resource persons regarding the details habang bibigyan po natin ng time si Ms. Lizelle Asuncion po na po muna ma-regain po yung kanyang
Sige, okay.
composure.
You have 3 more minutes,
Thank you.
Congressman Raul.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, dahil nandito po ang human rights organization na Karapatan with Ms. Christina Palabay. Mr. Chair, gusto po nating malaman, ito pong nangyaring pagpatay po kay Manny Asuncion tsaka doon po sa couple na nabanggitin po kanina. Meron din po bang iba pang mga instances na kung saan may mga operations na nasa ilalim ng command responsibility ni Debold Sinas tsaka ni Lito Patay na nagdulot din ng mga patayan sa ating mga kababayan?
Magandang gabi po, Mr. Chair. Sa totoo lang po, una po naming narinig ang pangalan ni Colonel Lito Patay dito po sa Batasan. Dahil napakarami po kaming naiulat sa amin na mga pagpatay dito. Pangalawa, yung pangalan ni Colonel Patay and ni General Sinas nung nagkasama sila sa PRO 7, dun po, kumbaga tail end na lang yung Bloody Sunday Massacre. Doon po maraming naganap na pagpatay, lalo na po sa Negros. No? Doon po nilaunch yung Sauron 1. 6 na tao po ang pinatay, mga magsasaka. Doon po sa Negros, 31 ang arbitrarily arrested. No? Naganap po ang sumunod noong 2019, Oplan Sauron 2, 14 ang pinatay. On a single day po ito on a single day. So these are mga, ang tawag po nila dito, Mr. Chair, yung Synchronized Enhanced Management Police Operations or SEMPO. Supposedly, it's anti-criminality, but it targeted also, and it had farm workers, farmer leaders, activists killed in the process. Sumunod na po yung pagpatay sa mga NDFP consultants. Magkasama na rin po si Colonel Patay, nasa dito lang po sa Metro Manila, nasa CIDG Region 4A, si Colonel Patay, habang si General Sinas, ang NCRPO Regional Director at PNP Chief, nung naganap yung pagpatay doon po sa dalawang elderly couple, doon po sa Rizal, na police operations din po. Sumunod naman po yung tumandok, no? Siyam, isang araw din po, siyam na tumandok leaders po doon po sa Iloilo, ang pinatay, 16 arbitrarily arrested. And then, the Bloody Sunday Massacre, 9 killed in one day, 5 to 7 people were arbitrarily arrested.
Mr. Chair, anyone po from the National Union of People's Lawyers, nasili po ba natin yung details related dun sa search warrant na inisyo din sa ginawa kay Manny Asuncion at ano po yung mga observations natin? Kasi nga merong pattern na defective yung mga ginagamit na search warrant. Ganon din ba yung na-observe dun sa search warrant na ginamit sa case ni Manny Asuncion?
Yung search warrant na binabanggit nila ng pulis, search warrant para dun sa residence ng mag-asawa ni Manny Asuncion at ni Lizelle na matatagpuan sa Rosario. Ngunit si Manny Asuncion ay pinatay sa Dasmariñas, Cavite sa opisina ng WAC, no? Workers Assistance Center. Yung address ng search warrant na sinabi na pinakita ng pulis, ang address ay sa Rosario, Cavite, dun sa residence nila. No? Ngayon, para ma-justify yung pagpatay kay Manny Asuncion, pagkatapos ng search na ginawa nila dun sa bahay nila, pinalabas ng mga pulis sa unang press release nila na nagkaroon ng na nakatakas si Manny Asuncion mula dun sa residente niya, papunta dun sa bahay, pumunta dun sa opisina ng WAC at nagkaroon ng parang habulan. Kaya dun siya inabot. Pero sa totoo lang, yung mag-asawa ay natutulog dun sa Dasmariñas, Cavite nung pinasok yon. Tapos pagkatapos nung unang narrative na gano'n na nagkaroon ng habulan, naalaman ng pulis na meron palang search warrant na in-issue para dun sa WAC office. Saka lang nila sinabing may sinagawang search warrant sa na nagresulta dun sa pagpatay kay Manny Asuncion. Bali yung nakitang diferensya dun sa sa search warrant.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, dahil nandito din po ang representative from NBI, since sa pagkakaalam po natin ay na-i-refer din ang case na ito sa National Bureau of Investigation. Mari po bang maibahagi briefly dito sa Quadcom, ano po yung mga naging major findings or actions na ginawa ng NBI at that time related po dito?
After that, Congressman Manuel, you still have 1 more minute.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Chair. So we conducted and concluded our investigation and we filed the appropriate cases against the 17 CIDJ officers. Based on our investigation, there was conclusive evidence and probable cause to file charges against them, Mr. Chair.
Salamat, Mr. Chair. So, huling tanong na lang, Mr. Chair, kay Ma'am Lizelle Asuncion. Maaari niyo po bang ma-describe, kasi napakasayang po ng bawat buhay na napapatay sa ilalim ng extrajudicial killings, lalo pat nakita natin yung patterns, whether war on drugs man o war on dissent. Ano po ba yung mga ginagawa ni Manny Asuncion bago po siya napatay? Sige po, Mari po from karapatan, kung na part din po ng ating mga records, so far based sa profile ni Manny Asuncion, ano po ba yung kanyang mga activities or affiliations?
Well, trade union leader po si Manny Asuncion and tumutulong po siya sa buong Cavite. In fact, kilala po siya ni Justice Secretary Remulla, no? Dahil galing po siya sa Cavite, kilala siyang leader manggagawa po doon sa pag-organisa po ng mga manggagawa sa Timog Katagalugan. Actually, Mr. Chair, ang kasong ito ay inimbestigahan din ng Commission on Human Rights, no? At meron din silang findings tungkol dito, lalo na sa deprivation of life ng mga victims ng Bloody Sunday, kabilang si Manny. At syempre, nadidismaya po kami dahil nga po dinismiss ng Department of Justice yung kasong ito despite recommendations from the NBI at despite the recommendations din po ng Commission on Human Rights. Mainam po kung nandito yung DOJ representative ay ma-inquire din po ito.
With that Mr. Chair, nagpapasalamat po tayo sa ating mga resource persons, kabilang na po si Ma'am Lizelle Asuncion. Nakita po natin mabigat na mapag-usapan yung ganito mga bagay, pero kinikilala po natin yung tapang at ang persistence po ng ating mga kamag-anak na patuloy pa ring i-exhaust yung iba't ibang pamamaraan para talaga ma-pursue yung justice para sa kanilang mga kamag-anak. Mr. Chair, nakita natin yung similar na modus operandi sa mga extrajudicial killings, mapa war on drugs man o mapa war on dissent, ang pag-profile ng mga biktima, yung pag-issue ng mga bogus na mga warrants, yung pagtatinim ng ebidensya, yung paggamit ng nanlaban na justification para sa ganito mga patayan, pati yung mga ineffective na mga ginawang investigasyon dati, Mr. Chair. Kawawa yung mga walang kalaban-laban na mga kababayan natin, wrongly accused, no? Ng mga whether involvement sa drug trade o yung mga activists dito sa ating bansa na inalay yung kanilang buhay para magsilbi sa mga iba ring inaapi at pinagsasamantalahan. Kaya nararapat lamang, Mr. Chair, na ma-pursue talaga natin itong pagsuporta sa mga pamilya ng mga biktima at maging yung pag-prosecute sa mga principal ng parehong war on drugs tsaka war on dissent na nagdulot ng mga extrajudicial killings. Kasama sina Deboldsinas, sina Lito Patay, sina incumbent Senator, former PNP Chief Bato de la Rosa at mismo yung dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. Yun lamang, Mr. Chair. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Congressman
Mr. Chair.
Manuel. Yes, is this a manifestation,
Yes,
Congresswoman
Mr.
Rosa?
Chair.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, actually, this will be a motion, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
No? Mr. Chair, kasi yung police operatives niyan, yung investigators, I have questions, Mr. Chair, dyan sa mga particular na yan mga operatives. Yung ranking of police officials involved, yung investigating documentation team involved, particular kay Manny Ascension, yung implementing team nito, yung Dasmariñas Cavite team, saka yung Rosario Cavite team na mga nandyan. We will siguro, Mr. Chair, yung list ay mahaba. We will give you yung list ng mga pwede nating i-invite, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
I would like to move, Mr. Chair, to make a motion that this police officials be invited, Mr. Chair. Siguro banggitin ko yung ilan sa mga kailangan. Kasi dito si PNP Chief Guillermo Alazar Bato and the Bodsinas, of course. PB Gen Felipe Natividad, Ground Commander Supervisor. Colonel Lito Patay. Major Warren C. Delim. Lieutenant Colonel Jacinto R. Malinaw Jr. Lieutenant Colonel Armelina S. Manalo, Mr. Chair. Siguro yun. Tapos yung the rest of the names, i-submit na lang namin, Mr. Chair.
Yes, kindly submit those names so that we will include them in the next
Yes.
in the next Quadcom hearing.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. There's a motion, as stated, to invite the following personalities, where in the list will be submitted to the committee secretariat, and the personalities to be invited in the next scheduled Quadcom hearings. Any second? Duly seconded. Any objections? Hearing none, the motion is approved. So maraming salamat. At doon po sa mga namatayan, kami po'y nakikiramay sa inyong pamilya. So we will now proceed with Congresswoman Luistro. You've been waving earlier, so
Thank you,
I
Mr.
now
Chair.
recognize you have 15 minutes.
Mr. Chair, my questions is for Ms. Smoking. But before I proceed to her, I just want to state for the record that the National Bureau of Investigation manifested their initiative to bring along the agent on case to shed light on the investigation that happened pertaining to the late Britannico. And I hope the same is true with respect to the handling prosecutor. However, Mr. Chair, I'm leaving this up to the chairman whether these officials from NBI and DOJ will be invited. Nevertheless, Mr. Chair, I wish to state for the record the reason why this representation raised those questions. Ako po'y nanghihinayang because based on the story of the brother, Corporal Joven was so cooperative and even admitting having killed those 5 victims. So it really raised a lot of questions. What happened in the investigation? Why was it not pursued during the preliminary investigation? I wish to commend the NBI and the DOJ for taking that initiative to shed light on what happened on the investigation. Nonetheless, Mr. Chair, I'm leaving it up to the chairman of the Quadcom whether to invite those officials or otherwise.
That's noted.
If I may proceed, Mr. Chair.
Please proceed.
Ms. Mocking,
Yes, Mr. Chair.
is it okay that I address you as Ms. Mocking?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And I understand earlier during the interpellation of Chairman Barbers, you confirmed already that you are the same Ms. Mocking who used to work in Malacanang during the time of the former president. Tama po ba ito?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Can you please enlighten us? Kailan po kayo dumating sa Malacanang?
July 1, 2016.
July 1, 2016. And can you please state for the record, ano pong position nyo dun sa Malacanang?
Nung July 1, 2016 until August 31 of 2016, supervising administrative officer pa lang po ako noon. Then starting September po, naging ASEC na po.
And can you please tell the committee, until when did you stay and work in Malacanang?
Until June of 2022, Mr. Chair.
Would you agree with me if I would say that during the entire term of the former president, you were working in Malacanang?
That's right, Mr. Chair.
And can you please tell us, who was your immediate superior during that time? Kanino po kayo nagre-report and under whose instruction do you do your task?
From July 1 of 2016 until September of 2018, from the then SAP Senator Bongo, and from October 1, 2018 until June of 2022 under Yusek Melchor Kitain, Mr. Chair.
Yusek Kitain.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Prior to your appointment in Malacanang back in July 2016, for the record, Ms. Mocking, saan po kayo nagtatrabaho?
City Government of Davao, Mr. Chair.
And can you please enlighten us, ano po bang trabaho nyo sa City of Davao?
Supervising Administrative Officer from December of 2015 until June 30 of 2016.
You were saying 2015 to 2016.
That's right, Mr. Chair.
And that is the only inclusive period when you work at the city government
No,
of
Mr. Chair.
Davao.
From 2024 until December of 2015, my item is Community Affairs Officer, Mr. Chair, under the City Government of Davao.
Can you please state that again from?
From 2024 until 2015, Community Affairs Officer.
How did it happen? 2024 to 2015.
Pardon, Mr. Chair.
All right. You said 2015, 2016, you work in Malacanang. And then I asked,
2015 to 2016 City Government of Davao.
Correct. City Government of Davao.
That's right, Mr. Chair.
Aside from this inclusive period, may pagkakataon pa po bang nagtrabaho din kay sa City Government of Davao?
Yes, Mr. Chair. 2004 until 2015 City Government of Davao, Mr. Chair. But
Can you-
of different item.
And then recently, you also made representation that currently you are working in Davao.
That's right, Mr. Chair.
What is your work or position in Davao right now?
Supervising Administrative Officer, Mr. Chair.
When did you start?
July 2022
July 20.
and at present, up to the present.
Tama po bang sabihin, Ms. Mocking, given this period of time, 2015 to 2016, and then you have 2004 to 2015, and then you have July 2022 up to the present, plus the Malacanang in 2016 to 2022. All those periods, you were working for the Duterte family.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And kanina po sinabi nyo, when you were in Malacanang, your immediate superior was Senator Bongo and Yusek Kitain.
Yes,
Later
Mr.
on.
Chair.
How about during the time that you were in the city of Davao? Let's start with 2004 to 2015. Sino po immediate superior nyo?
The Chief of Staff of the City Mayor's Office.
So in other words, you were reporting to the city mayor,
The Chief of Staff, Mr.
the
Chair.
chief of staff. So you worked under the city mayor also.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And may we know who was the city mayor during that time?
Mayor Rudy Duterte, Mr. Chair.
The former president.
Yes, Mr.
How
Chair.
about from 2015 to 2016?
2000? Yes, Mr. Chair.
Who was your immediate superior?
The Chief of Staff, Mr. Chair.
The COS. Who was the mayor during this time?
Rodrigo Duterte, Mr. Chair.
The same. And from July, just for the record, Ms. Mocking, July 2022 up to the present, to whom are you reporting at the city government of Davao?
Chief of Staff, Mr. Chair.
COS. Will you agree with me if I would say that if you're reporting to the COS, it is as if you're reporting also to the LCE, the local chief executive? Or if I may rephrase my question, both the COS and yourself are working under the local chief executive.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Tama po bang sabihin, Ms. Mocking? Because of course it is a common knowledge how associated the senator is to the former president. I'm referring to Senator Bongo. Perhaps Senator Bongo is one of the most trusted people of the former president. Tama po ba?
I cannot speak in behalf of the President, Mr. Chair.
All right. But at least he is one of the people who have been working with the president so closely since the time that he was the mayor.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Tama. Okay. Tama po bang sabihin, Ms. Mocking, na kayo po ay labis na pinagtitiwalaan ng Duterte family and even Senator Bongo, reason why since 2004 up to the present, ang trabaho po nyo umiikot lang kay Senator Bongo at sa Duterte family?
Could you repeat the question, Mr. Chair?
Tama po bang sabihin na kayo po'y labis na pinagtitiwalaan ni Senator Bongo at ng Duterte family, reason kung bakit simula po 2004 up to the present, ang trabaho po nyo umiikot lang kay Senator Bongo at sa Duterte family?
I cannot answer the question, Mr. Chair, in behalf of Senator Bongo and the former President.
I understand.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Can you please enlighten us, Ms. Mocking? Paano nyo po nakilala si Senator Bongo? Are you from Davao also?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Born and raised?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Alright. Please enlighten us. Paano po nyo nakilala si Senator Bongo?
Nung nag-work po ako sa City Government of Davao, dun ko lang po siya nakilala, Mr. Chair.
And I wish to believe that since you started working in the city of Davao 2004, perhaps you started to earn the trust of Senator Bongo. Why until now, you continue to work within the same network of the Duterte family. That is a manifestation. You don't need to answer that. How about President Duterte? Kailan niyo po siya nag-umpisang makilala? Was it during the time you started working at the City of Davao or even prior to that?
Since 2004, Mr. Chair, when I started working with the City Government of
In
Davao.
other words, the reason why you came across Senator Bongo and the former president is because you worked in Davao City. There was no prior encounter before the work in Davao City.
No, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Ms. Mocking, I understand that, or it is a common knowledge during the time of the former president, no, na kapag may gustong lumapit kay Senator Bongo, there were people na kayo po ang ina-approach, kayo ang nire-reach out, and apparently, may mga tao po kayong natulungan.
Probably, Mr. Chair.
As a matter of fact, we have a slide here which shows the gratitude that he wishes to express because of the help that you extended in giving him the chance to see and talk to Senator Bongo. Tama po ba yun? Kayo po'y nagiging tulay papunta kay Senator Bongo?
Minsan-minsan, Mr. Chair, pag meron pong lumalapit.
Sa 100 po bang lumapit sa inyo, gustong makausap si Senator Bongo, humingi ng tulong, yun po ba'y tinulungan nyo lahat o ilan po ba dun sa 100 sa tingin nyo ang natulungan nyo?
As much as possible, Mr. Chair, hinahanapan po talaga ng paraan na matulungan.
In other words, I wish to submit that every time there are people who approach you seeking the help of the senator, you really do what you can to solicit the help that is necessary for those people. Tama po, Ms. Mocking?
Mr. Chair, I would like to clarify from what period po yung pinag-uusapan natin, Mr. Chair.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I am referring to the time that you are already working in Malacanang.
From July 2016 to
Yes.
September of 2018.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Ginagawa mo lahat para makatulong sa tao.
Mostly, Mr. Chair, kasi kami po yung in charge sa mga social services like medical assistance and burial assistance and other services po.
There are informations that you worked also as Assistant Secretary to the Secretary of Finance under the Office of Special Assistant to the President. Tama po ba yun?
No, Mr. Chair.
So what particular job did you undertake under the Office of Senator Bongo?
Office of the Special Assistant to the President, Mr. Chair.
It has nothing to do with finance.
No, Mr. Chair.
So you were the Assistant Secretary
Yes, Mr. Chair.
to the Special Assistant to the President. Tama po?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And can you please enlighten us, ano po ba ang trabaho ng isang Assistant Secretary?
Under the Office of the Special Assistant to the President, Mr. Chair, mostly our work revolve around administrative matters, clerical works, errands, social services, and mechanical jobs, Mr. Chair.
And there are informations also, Ms. Mocking, that during this time, kayo po'y nalagay sa secondment. Ano po bang ibig sabihin ng secondment?
Secondment, Mr. Chair, is the temporary transfer of position of an employee from one unit to the other, Mr. Chair.
And that is while maintaining your job and title under the Special Assistant to the President's Office. Tama po ba yun?
Actually, Mr. Chair, my secondment is between the city government of Davao and the office of the President.
Oh, it's not in Malacanang.
No, Mr. Chair.
All right. So ano po yung naging trabaho nyo dun sa City of Davao under the concept of secondment?
Mr. Chair, my secondment is with the office of the President.
Office of the
Yes,
President.
from the city government of Davao to the office of the President. So,
So-
it is an agreement between the office of the President and the city government of Davao.
Wait, with all due respect, ang sabi niyo po kanina, kayo ay nasa ilalim ng Special Assistant to the President's Office.
That's
Tama
right,
po
Mr.
ba?
Chair.
And
Opo.
during that time, nalagay po kayo sa secondment?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And that secondment pertains to another job under the office of the President?
No, Mr. Chair. It is a secondment between the city government of Davao and the office of the President. So my item, Mr. Chair, is with the city government of Davao. Then I was seconded to the office of the President.
Can you please further elaborate, Ms. Mocking, no? Kasi during this time, kayo po ay under ng SAP. Tama po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair, starting September of 2016
Until?
until June of 2022.
Until June of 2022. Ibig sabihin ng item nyo po nasa SAP.
No, Mr. Chair, the item is under office of the President.
Under the office of the President.
Yes, but the office where I am reporting is with the office of the Special Assistant to the President.
So alin po yung secondment na tinutukoy nyo?
The agreement is between the city government of Davao, wherein the office of the President requested the city government of Davao that I will undergo the secondment. So the office of the President requested the city government of Davao that I will be admitted to the office of the President.
Is it not that the item is under the OP?
Actually, Mr. Chair, if we are talking about the secondment, it is an agreement between the employee and the office and the position where you will be admitted.
Yes, but you were saying a while ago, ang item nyo ay nasa OP, ang trabaho nyo ay nasa SAP.
Tama po, Mr. Chair. Kasi po, pag naka-secondment ka po, Mr. Chair, iiwanan nyo po yung item nyo po sa City Government of Davao. Kasi po, may agreement na po si Office of the President and si City Government of Davao na parang hihiramin ka po.
So what you wanted to tell us is, even prior to your item under OP, ay may item kayo sa LGU Davao.
That's right, Mr. Chair.
Ipinahiram kayo sa OP.
That's right, Mr. Chair.
All right. Is that really possible?
Meron pong
Mr.
civil
Chair.
service. I
Mr.
believe
Chair.
the civil service can
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, I am yielding to Chairman Ako.
That's possible under the civil service rule. But I do not know if it is for an extended period. What I can remember is that it is only good for 1 year, renewable.
That's right, Mr. Chair. My appointment is being renewed every 2 years. So from
Pwede- ang item niya ay sa Davao. Pinahiram siya ng Davao City Government sa Office of the President. Pero may limit yan according to the Civil Service Law. For 2 years.
That's right, Mr. Chair.
Renewable.
So every 2 years po yung renewal, Mr. Chair.
Ms. Mocking, can you please enlighten us? When there are a lot of items available in Malacanang, why do you have to resort to this secondment that your item is in Davao, that you will be discharging your work under OP? Pwede namang dun po kayo kumuha ng item sa OP.
Actually, Mr. Chair, yung secondment kasi is ang position po ang mababago.
Not the item.
Not the item. You will leave your item under the city government of Davao. So as soon as you assume the position under the receiving agency, so you will now be acquiring the new item that is allotted by the receiving agency. So your parent agency will take hold of your original item.
Para maklaro po, no?
Yes, Congressman Adjong.
So, your item, pinahiram ka sa Malacanang kasi this is what happens also in the BARM. So, I'm familiar with secondment. But you does not mean that you altogether left, di ba, your position.
That's right, Mr. Chair.
Position mo pa rin sa Davao, hiniram ka rin sa Malacanang, but you're not getting salary from your original principal unit, no?
Yes, you will not be getting
Yes, you'll
the
not be
salary
getting the
from the
salary.
parent agency.
Exactly. But you are not also vacating the position, your prior position in Davao. Hiniram ka lang doon, tapos depende yun doon sa humiram sa'yo kung i-renew ka niya. Kung hindi ka niya i-renew, babalik ka doon sa Davao. Di ba tama yun?
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
Ganun.
Please proceed, Congresswoman Luis.
Ms. Mocking, during
Yes,
your stint in Malacanang, that is 2016 to 2022, of course, you've encountered a lot of people close or within the network of the former president. Tama po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
That includes Colonel Garma. Yes, Ms. Mocking.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Can you please enlighten us? How frequent do you actually meet with Colonel Garma during that time?
I saw her once or twice, Mr. Chair, in Malacanang.
Once
Or twice.
or twice only?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And there was no other encounter at all?
Actually, Mr. Chair, since na-appoint po si Colonel Garma sa PCSO, we have referred patients para po ma-extend yung kanilang assistance sa sa PCSO po.
So, in line in connection with that concern, referring patients to PCSO, do you meet and talk with Colonel Garma during that time that he was already at PCSO?
I call her, Mr. Chair.
So how frequent do you talk, if I may ask? I believe that was 2018.
Once or
2000.
twice, Mr. Chair, because she referred me already to one of her staff. Every time merong referral para hindi ko na po siya ma-disturb.
Prior to her appointment at PCSO, you said a while ago na once or twice mo rin na-meet si Colonel Garma
In Malacanang.
in Malacanang.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Can you please tell us what concern does Colonel Garma have during that time when you encountered her in Malacanang?
Actually, Mr. Chair, umakyat lang talaga siya doon sa office namin and marami din po, almost all of our staff, Mr. Chair, are from Davao. We're from Davao. So parang meron na din po siyang mga nakita at kakilala doon, tapos meron din pong mga nagpa-picture sa kanya kasi nga po na-appoint siya sa PCSO.
So it is just because of the appointment, the reason why she was there.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
With all due respect to the personalities that I will be mentioning, Ms. Mocking, but if you are following the investigation, there have been allegations about the reward system of the war on drugs. You're aware of this?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And Senator Bongo is always being implicated every time the reward system is being mentioned. You're also aware of this?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. As one of the people who work in Malacanang during the time of FPRRD, can you please enlighten us? Ano po bang nalalaman nyo dito sa reward system at ano po bang nalalaman nyo about the possible connection of Senator Bongo, if there is any?
I have no knowledge actually, Mr. Chair, about the reward system that is going on within Malacanang, Mr. Chair.
And if you have no knowledge about the reward system of the war on drugs, the more reason that you have no knowledge about Senator Bongo's implication to this reward system.
That's right, Mr. Chair.
But are you aware that there was public pronouncement already coming from another senator, Senator Bato de la Rosa, confirming that even during the time of the former president as mayor of Davao, namimigay na po ng pera si Senator Bongo. What can you say about this?
I have no knowledge of Senator Bongo releasing money po, Mr. Chair.
I understand. Just for the information of the committee, Secretary, can we please flash that poster from the social media where Senator Bongo made this comment that even during the time of the former president in Malacanang, namimigay na ng pera si Senator Bongo. Nevertheless, would you know Ms. Moki?
Pwede pagkalaki. Obsec.
Oh, this is the picture of the person who received help from Senator Bongo through Ms. Moking. Can you confirm that, Ms. Moking? One of the several people you helped.
Actually, Mr. Chair, this person is one of my relatives.
So you confirm that he received help from Senator Bongo through you?
Actually, hindi po ako nagbigay sa kanya ng help, Mr. Chair.
About the senator? He's saying, thank you very much and God bless you more.
Baka, I really don't know, Mr. Chair, pero baka related po siguro sa mga services po ni Senator Bongo under his office.
All right. Secretariat, can we please flash the next slide? The one with the public pronouncement. There. Ang sabi po dito, Ms. Moking, namimigay naman talaga ng pera si Bongo. Inutusan niya ni President Duterte noon pa. Sa Davao pa kami.
I have no knowledge about that, Mr. Chair.
But can you please enlighten us at least? Ano po ba yung perang tinutukoy ni Senator Bongo dito? Would you know if this is the reward system which is being alleged in relation to the war on drugs?
Hindi ko po alam, Mr. Chair. Wala po ako, hindi po siya familiar sa akin, Mr. Chair.
Would you know if this is operational fund of the PNP?
Actually, Mr. Chair, hindi po kasi ako privy sa mga police operations and kaya hindi po ako familiar dito sa sinasabi na.
Yes, I understand. But since you work at the office of the mayor, I'm trying to elicit information if there are chances or incidents when you encountered similar concerns. So, nung naririto po ang dating Pangulo, he was saying, walang panggasolina ang mga pulis, kaya namimigay siya ng pera, if my recollection is correct. Hindi po kaya itong perang tinutukoy ni Senator Bongo ay yung tinutukoy ng dating Pangulong panggasolina ng mga pulis?
Actually, Mr. Chair, relate ko lang po ito doon sa naging question din po sa Senate hearing. Ang gasolina po na sinasabi po ni former President was yung binibigay po namin na parang PO slip para po sa mga police precinct. Parang isa din po yun sa support na binibigay ni former President.
By PO, it means purchase order.
Purchase slip.
Purchase slip.
Yes.
So, bibigyan mo siya ng slip para tatakbo na lang ang pulis sa gasolinahan.
Yan po yung style doon, Mr. Chair.
And would you know, Ms. Mocking, kasi napakagastos ng police operation, bukod dito sa panggasolina, ano pa po bang assistance na ibinibigay ng ating dating Pangulo sa police operations?
Sa Davao term ito, Mr. Chair.
Davao.
Usually, Mr. Chair, yung mga precinct commanders, gumagawa sila ng letter request addressed to the mayor.
Precinct commanders.
Yes, gumagawa sila
So
ng...
what is this request all about?
Like, support, Mr. Chair, aircon, office supplies, normally mga general services po, Mr. Chair.
General services, that's all.
Basically, yun po yung part of our tasking, Mr. Chair, na nag-a-assist po kami sa mga police and other offices po, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Ms. Mocking, do you know Rizalina Hustol?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Who is she? For the enlightenment of the committee.
Sa City Government of Davao, Mr. Chair. She was our city accountant.
She used to be the chief accountant of Davao City LGU. Tama po?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
When was this?
Ay, nung 2004 po na working na po ako sa City Hall. Sa pagkakaalam ko po, city accountant na po si Ma'am Rizalina
O
Justo.
baka nauna pa sa'yo?
Yes, I believe.
Okay. So, I understand that similar to you, si Ms. Hustol ay nagtrabaho din sa Malacanang. Do you confirm this?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Ano pong trabaho niya sa Malacanang and when did she start?
I believe na una din po sa akin, Mr. Chair. So parang...
July ka na eh. June 30 lang nag-a-assume.
Actually, Mr. Chair, bali, mas... baka magkasabay. Baka magkasabay.
July 2016 also. And after some time, Ms. Mocking, would you confirm she was appointed as Commission on Audit Chairperson?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Can you please tell us when?
I do not know, Mr. Chair. I do not know the exact date, Mr. Chair.
Can you please at least tell us the year?
2022? I really don't know, Mr. Chair.
All right. But at least you confirmed that she was appointed as COA chairperson. Given this facts, Mr. Chair, I wish to manifest that similar to Ms. Mocking, Rizalina Hustol was able to earn also utmost trust and confidence of the Duterte family, including the people close to the former president. Reason why, from being the chief accountant of Davao, he was even appointed as executive secretary for finance and administration of OP. Tama ba, Ms. Mocking?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And ultimately, she was appointed as COA chairperson, which I believe is one of the most or one of the highest possible positions one can get in the Philippine government. Ano po bang trabaho ng isang chief accountant? Let's go back to Davao.
Hindi ko po masyadong alam kung anong specific trabaho po ng city accountant, Mr. Chair.
But at least would you confirm, alam po niya lahat ng pumapasok na pera, lahat ng lumalabas na pera?
Probably, Mr. Chair.
And that includes the confidential fund of the LGU Davao.
Probably, Mr. Chair.
Ano po bang trabaho ng Executive Secretary for Finance and Administration?
I believe, Mr. Chair, is more on finance also, Mr. Chair.
So, I am inclined to believe na alam din po niya ang budget ng OP during the time of the former president and even the expenditures of the office of the president. Tama po ba?
Probably, Mr. Chair.
And of course, you understand the mandate of COA, having worked in the government for so long a time. What do you understand about the work of Rizalina Hustol in the Commission on Audit?
Sorry, Mr. Chair, hindi Hindi ko po.
But of course, you will agree with me. They check, they evaluate, they see whether the expenditures were compliant with the rules of the Commission on Audit.
Probably, Mr. Chair.
You work in Malacanang.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Was there any point in time na naka-encounter po kayo ng questions, controversies, notice of disallowances ng OP during her time as COA chairperson?
Hindi po ako familiar, Mr. Chair.
All right, Mr. Chair, I think I am done with Ms. Mocking. Thank you, Ms. Mocking.
Welcome, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congresswoman Luis. Just a short clarification lang kay Ms. Muking. Ms. Muking, do you know Colonel Garma?
Professionally, Mr. Chair, yes.
And why do you say professionally? Anong difference nun sa sa trabaho lang kayo nagkikita?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So that's what professionally means.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, but outside of the profession, hindi ba kayo nagkakasama, nagkakakwentuhan?
Never, Mr. Chair.
Never. So, how did you know si Colonel Garma?
Si Colonel Garma lang po ang precinct commander sa Davao City na babae. So, so kilala talaga siya.
That's why kilala siya because
yes,
she's the
Mr.
only
girl among the precinct, the 12 precinct commanders of Davao City.
Okay. So, more or less, mga ilang taon na kayo magkakilala ni Colonel Garma?
Parang, I don't know kung kailan siya napasok sa Davao City. Pero nakilala ko lang talaga siya, Mr. Chair. Pasensya na po. Kasi makulit siya, Mr. Chair.
Makulit.
Opo.
Makulit dahil, ikaw ba ang kinukulit?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Bakit ikaw ang kinukulit? Ito kasama sa professional relationship.
Yes,
niyo?
Mr. Chair. Very professional.
So, paano kanya kinukulit, Ms. Muki?
Meron kasing request, as I have mentioned earlier, yung mga precinct commander para sa support from the city government of Davao. Tapos, one of those requests is care of kay Colonel Garma, which is the repair of her office. And kasi po, di ba po, meron naman pong process ang government pag meron kang request. So you have to go through po yung sa general services, meron pa po yung purchase order, purchase request. Kinikulit niya po kami doon sa mga aircon niya na request, mga TV, and other supplies. So kaya namin siya kilala, Mr. Chair.
So in relation to her, parang financial request yan, di ba? Funding request.
No, not funding, Mr. Chair, but office equipment and office supplies.
Yeah, but she requests your office to provide her with funds to purchase
no, item. It's an equipment.
So item
no,
kayo,
no cash, no
so
funds.
kayo bumibili and then you provide them with the items.
Pinoprocess po yan ng City General Services.
Granting for the sake of argument that it has already been processed, you have the item with you, that is what you provide.
That's right, Mr. Chair.
That is to answer yung kanyang request.
That's right, Mr. Chair.
So yun ang kanyang, kaya mo na sabing makulit siya dahil follow-up siya ng follow-up.
Hindi po humihinto, Mr. Chair.
So hindi humihinto.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Parang, the way I picture it, parang sobrang kulit niya. Tama ba yun?
Actually, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Now, that is the only request, yung kanyang sa office niya.
As far as I can remember, Mr. Chair, yun lang po ang ma-recall ko kay
Did she ever request from you? At ikaw lang ang kinakausap niya?
Actually, Mr. Chair, hindi naman po talaga ako lang. So,
Sino pa kaya ang kinakausap?
Pino-forward ko po yung staff niya sa City General Services Office para makafocus din po ako sa ibang task.
Okay. So you seem to have several tasks under the LGU, no? LGU ba yan?
Mostly administrative, Mr. Chair.
Okay. And who do you report directly? Who is your immediate superior?
The Chief of Staff, Mr. Chair.
And that is?
Actually, from 2004 to 2016, we have several Chief of Staff.
Several Chief of Staff.
Yes, every term po. Parang, yes.
Okay. So, lahat ba ng police precinct commander, kapag ka merong request, ay sa iyo dumadaan?
Actually, Mr. Chair, pinoprocess siya doon sa reception area namin. Tapos, parang part of my task is tagapukpok po ng mga opisina kung saan po sila may request.
Okay. Have you read the affidavit submitted by Colonel Garma to the Quad Committee?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And doon sa kanyang affidavit, nabanggit niya na your name was implicated doon sa punto na ikaw ang nagre-release ng operational funds. Is that correct?
No, Mr. Chair.
So hindi totoong nagre-release ka ng pondo?
Hindi po, Mr. Chair.
So why do you think Colonel Garma would say that?
I cannot answer in behalf of Colonel Garma, Mr. Chair.
Just make a wild guess. What do you think is the reason why Colonel Garma would specifically mention your name, mention your name as the one in charge of releasing funds for the successful operation of the war on drugs? Bakit ikaw? Meron ka pang ibang kasama sa office, correct?
Guess ko lang po, Mr. Chair.
Just a guess. Sa tingin mo?
Baka gusto niya lang po akong i-connect. Kasi po, from the city government of Davao to OP. Parang ako siguro yung nakikita niyang linyada. Guess ko lang po.
Okay, so linyada kay former president?
Probably, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So do you directly report to the former president?
No, Mr. Chair.
To whom do you directly report?
As I have said earlier, Mr. Chair, from 2016 to 2018, to then SAP, Senator Bongo, then from 2018 to 2022, Yusek Melchor Kitain, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so dito muna, nung ASEC ka kay SAP, former SAP, now Senator Bongo.
That's right, Mr. Chair.
Can you give us, or at least educate us, ano ang iyong work sa office ng SAP? Specifically kay Senator Bongo.
As I have said earlier, Mr. Chair, it's mostly administrative, clerical, errands, social services, and mechanical works.
What about appointments?
That's part of the...
Social?
No, Mr. Chair, that's part of the admin.
So admin yun?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So halimbawa, merong gusto makipag-usap ni Congressman Adjong kay SAP Bongo, si Congressman Adjong will call you and schedule.
I believe hindi niya ako tatawagan kasi hindi niya ako kilala, Mr. Chair.
But where does a member of Congress who would like to see SAP Bongo request an appointment?
Actually, si SAP Bongo kasi, Mr. Chair, is madaling malapitan. So, lahat ata ng congressman, I believe, direct na nagtitext sa kanya and direct din po siyang sumasagot.
Lahat?
Almost all.
Okay.
As far as I know, Mr. Chair.
Just to make it clear, ako ba nakita mo ako? Lumapit ba ako sa'yo?
Hindi, Mr. Chair. But I believe, Mr. Chair, parang nautusan ako before to reach out sa inyo.
Sa akin?
Pero hindi mo nyo lang po ako ata sinagot.
So hindi tayo nagkausap?
Hindi po, Mr. Chair.
So it is very clear that it is not I who reach out to her, but it is Ms. Muking who reach out to me. May I know kung bakit?
Para ata yung i-clarify yung parang may request sa office, Mr. Chair. Gusto lang namin mostly kasi, Mr. Chair, pag may pumapasok na request sa office, gina-clarify po talaga namin kung what's your priority among your requests.
You mean request na mga projects?
Part of it, Mr. Chair.
You know, I've been in Congress for more than 20 years. I don't remember requesting from your office any project. Just for the record,
Mr. Chair, I did not specifically say that it is a project, but probably because I really cannot recall anymore.
So, ibig mong sabihin, kapag ikaw inuutusan to reach out to a certain congressman, it is because of a project or a request.
Hindi po lahat, Mr. Chair.
So,
kasi,
other than projects and other requests, you also seek or reach out certain congressmen upon the instruction of the former SAP.
Yes, at that time yung
And
siya pa yung-
normally, what other reasons did the former SAP instruct you to do aside from following up request of certain congressmen?
Most of the time, Mr. Chair, mga medical assistants.
And that is very clear. Kasi ako, hindi naman ako humingi ng medical assistance sa inyo.
Yes, Mr.
Diba?
Chair.
So, do you
Mr.
know a
Chair?
certain Peter?
Yeah, just to
Yes,
set the
Con-
record straight,
yes, Congressman Adjong.
para hindi ho tayo magkaliwanagan. You mean to say, Congressman, during the presidency of Digong, the former President Duterte,
Yes po.
when you were in Malacanang.
Yes, Mr.
Okay,
Chair.
just to set the record straight, because we're talking about now the 19th Congress. Have I ever called you?
Actually, Mr. Chair, nakalimutan ko na po talaga kung sino din yung pong
Yeah,
nakakausap.
because I was not part of Congress last. This is my
Ay,
first term.
so kaya nga, Mr. Chair, I cannot recall.
Just set the record straight. Ah.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, short interjection lang din po kay Ms. Smoking.
Oh, sige, okay. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Kasi natanong po kanina, dahil nga napangalanan po si Ms. Smoking sa affidavit ni Colonel Garma na meron daw alias Smoking na taga-disburse ng rewards under the drug war at ito po ay dinedenay ni Ms. Smoking. To confirm, tama po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yeah. Kaso Mr. Chair, kung dinedenay po ang nasa affidavit ni Colonel Garma, pero aside po kasi kay Colonel Garma, mismo si former President Rodrigo Duterte ay meron pong pinangalan ng alias Smoking din, both sa Senado tsaka maging dito sa Quadcom, Mr. Chair, based sa questions ng mga mababatas natin in both chambers. So, Mr. Chair, ngayon po itatanong ko, based naman sa sinabi ng dating Pangulo, in-insist pa rin po ba ni Ms. Smoking na wala siyang dinidisburse na pera in relation to the drug war?
Wala po, Mr. Chair.
Kahit po operational expenses para sa mga pulis na nagpatupad ng drug war?
Wala po talaga, Mr. Chair.
Or rewards sa mga napapatay with varying degrees? Wala rin pong nilalabas na pera?
Wala po talaga, Mr. Chair.
Kung ganun, Mr. Chair, then given na merong directly contradicting na mga sinasabi under oath, on one hand, yung sinabi ni Colonel Garma at ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, and on the other hand, si Ms. Smoking, then Mr. Chair, merong at least isa dun sa mga tao na iyon who are lying under oath. And that demands further inquiry and questioning by legislators. Yun lang, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for asking my question, Congressman Manuel. But